Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day today. I'm Chef Tucker, and today I'd like to show you guys how to make a classic soup, easy for a weeknight meal, easy for yourself at home, and great in casseroles, cream of mushroom soup. So cream of mushroom soup is very simple, very basic. It's one of those ones that anybody can do it. I have full faith in you guys. But we're going to start off with our core ingredient, mushrooms, onions, and a little bit of garlic. Now I'm just going to break these down a little bit. You can just go ahead and dice them if you want, but this is a better dicer, so we're going to throw our garlic in there. Again, I'm just cutting it right now just to break it up so it cuts better once it's inside the food processor. And then we're going to throw the lid on. We're going to give these a head start ahead of our mushrooms. We're giving these a head start because I want them to be a finer chop than these, because I want these to be a very rough chop. I went ahead and quartered these mushrooms. If you have a lot of mushrooms, then make sure you're doing it in batches according to the size of your food processor. I had to split this into 2 different batches just to make sure nothing gets too chopped up. But when it comes out on the other side, you're looking for it to be a little bit grains of sandy. That makes sense, right? When it comes out the other side, you're looking for it to be about the size of peas to grains of sand. But if you have some bigger chunks in there, don't worry about it. It's all going to be good in the end. All right, next thing we have to do is get our pan hot and saute some mushrooms just to build our basis for our soup. All right, our butter is melted, so into the pan. Our mushroom and onion garlic mix goes. Now, I know this looks like a lot of mushrooms, and it will cook down some, but one thing for me, when I'm making a cream mushroom soup, I don't care much for the cream part as much. I go heavier mushroom. If you wanted to do this as more of a canned soup type of cream of mushroom, go lighter on the mushrooms, heavier on the cream. Like I said, I just like it the other way with heavier mushrooms, lighter cream. I want some stuff in my soup. Our cream of mushroom soup is started cooking. I like celery in mine, but not everybody does. I understand this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw these in whole like this, just heart of celery, and these are going to cook and infuse everything with the flavor, and then I can pull them out. If you don't mind celery in your soup, then just put it in with the onions at the beginning and just puree it up. So we're just going to let that be a flavor enhancer rather than an actual ingredient. All right, now that we have some liquid formed at the bottom from the mushrooms sweating out all their juices, we're going to go ahead and hit it with a bay leaf and some thyme. All right, everything is aromatic, everything is fragrant. Our mushrooms are cooking down. There is no longer water in the pan, just a little bit of water attached to the mushrooms. So that says to me we're about where we want to be. We're just going to spread it out, let it caramelize just a little bit, just to give it that little extra flavor boost, not much. We want this to be relatively light and creamy, so we're not going to worry about that too. So next we're going to add flour just a little bit at a time because we're looking to make a very simple pan roux right now. Like I said, just a little bit at a time. Make sure you don't overflour your cream of mushroom soup. Now that it's kind of just clumped up on itself, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of chicken stock just to help deglaze some. There's not a whole lot of burnt on the bottom, but this is where we're going to introduce our liquid. All right, we're going to let it simmer, but We're also going to go ahead and add our cream now that's been simmering for a few minutes, and some milk, just to make it a little bit thin. All right, so we've been simmering for about 15 minutes. You guys can go as long as you like, just as long as it doesn't get too thick, too concentrated. But I think that's about where we want it. We're just going to finish it up with some salt and pepper. Remember, always season at the end, because once it goes in, it doesn't come out. And the longer it simmers, the heavier concentrated that salt becomes. All right, guys, let's check it out. So our cream of mushroom soup is done. It looks different than what comes out of the can, but I guarantee you, not in a legally binding way, but I guarantee you it tastes better. Or at least I think so. You can use it for casseroles. You can use it as a soup. You can use it as a sauce, just with a little bit of tweaking. But cheers. It's really good. Again, it's going to be a lot more flavorful than some of the cans that you guys are used to. And I say cans a lot just because that's where most everybody recognizes cream of mushroom soup coming from. But it is a good soup in and of its own right, because I've never opened a can of cream of mushroom soup and been like, oh boy, cream of mushroom soup. But this on the other hand, this stands alone. And again, if you want to up the mushroom quality, add some umami, you could add some shallots. You can tweak it and add whatever you like to it. That's a third. But give it a try. Make some in a smaller batch. If you want it to be a little bit more like what you're used to, then just cut back on the mushrooms and go with the regular amounts of liquids. But an easy recipe, just takes a little bit of time, like any good soup does. And you come out with a product that's far superior to what you've had so far. Well, if you've enjoyed this, you found it educational, you found it fun, you plan on doing the recipe, make sure you hit the like, share, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. It helps me grow, and I really do appreciate it. And as always, thanks for cooking with me.